Are we live?
I think we're live, pal.
I didn't know. I didn't know if I did it right because I did. I just stopped saying one. Who knows? Hey, welcome to Loser Leaves Wrestling. Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woo-woos and woods of AEW Dynamite. We just finished watching AEW Dynamite and we're hot and ready for some fun talking action. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Roy Hammer.
Oh,
how are we feeling tonight?
I feel great. I feel this show made me feel great. This show made me feel great. Yeah.
This show gave me cramps.
This show gave you cramps.
I'm feeling gassy after this show.
I'm letting it all out now, pal. Not this show. After this show, I'm loose as a goose. Let's do it.
This is good show. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. This is the Woos and What's of AEW Dynamite, where we talk about the best and worst of what happened on today's Dynamite. We just finished it, and as always, we have you Jazz in the booth. Give a hoot, honk honk for you, Jazz.
Hoot honk honk.
And also make sure to call the hotline. Roy, did you call the hotline? 10 minutes
I
before
call
the show?
It's going to become a new tradition of mine to call the hotline after the show. It's how I go to bed at night. I call the hotline.
It's a pretty big deal. I think you all should call the hotline. And also just thanks to some people, just before we get started with the show. Mo's X, bless them. They're going to be 20 minutes late, according to Twitter. They sent us a text of JR's barbecue sauce, and I immediately threw it up on the site, on the Instagram. If you send me things, I'll throw up on the screen. By the way, this is a Google Voice number, and I turn off notifications, so I will not be responding to anything. But we want all your feedback. Send texts, send pictures, call the hotline for the juicy gossip and leave a message. Call it. Thank you all so much for joining. We should start talking about the show, right?
Let's get into it.
We have to start talking about this thing. A lot to talk about. In today's Dynamite. Let's start off right at the top, where we always start.
The
tag team battle royale. We have Jurassic Express slowly waddling down to the ring with Christian. We see all these teams surrounding the ring, and we're having an old-fashioned tag team turmoil battle royale to see who was the first of three teams that are going to be in. So this is the first teams. Number one. There's going to be two teams.
And then next week there's another battle royal. The chances are the Young Bucks are probably going to win, and they will both face Jurassic Express.
Did I miss? So there's going to be two battle royals. I thought I would only deal with one of these bullshits.
I liked it. I thought this was good.
Okay, let's talk. Well, let's skim to that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
it just showed like they start off the match. Everyone clamors in the ring all at once.
Yeah,
and AEW hasn't figured out how to produce these big multi-person matches yet without it literally looking like it's your turn. It's my turn.
There were a couple of moments, and there were especially a couple of things that I think the cameras missed. That kind of bums me out about AEW.
Yeah.
That there's always moments where I'm like, oh, someone's doing something impressive, but we're only hearing the crowd react and we're not seeing it happen.
Yeah, 100%. A few things that I noted, and tell me what you think. A lot of under the rope and outside action, which I didn't.
Sure.
Right. That kind of undercuts the concept.
That's
one or two people fine, but
sure. Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of become a trend, I think, of modern day battle, including the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of like between the ropes, under the ropes action happening in modern day battle royals. And I think it kind of takes away, the little bit of the steam from the concept.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's almost like happening once a battle royale, fine.
Yeah.
But there's multiple people doing it. Why is it you can't get eliminated from the battle royale if you're just not in the ring?
Right. Yeah. And I think, don't let that happen on JR's watch, because he'll make sure to let the home viewing audience know that that's a mistake and to not do that.
Yeah. He loves calling out the faux pas of wrestling. And these are things you should say to people behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Not on TV.
Yeah.
Some fun moments we had. We had Johnny Hungy, the spot with Johnny Hungy does the muscles deal, which was fun.
Yeah.
Then we get him throwing at the Ass Boys.
Yeah, which is nice.
We get that. Santana. My God, am I ever going to say it right? Santana. He does the mugging for the camera thing again. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. I just thought it went a little too long.
That was a weird thing. So who was he eliminating at the time, Santana?
I think, was it the other Ass Boy?
No, both Ass Boys were eliminated at the same. I think it was maybe
Blade or Butcher. No, it wasn't Butcher. Maybe it was Blade.
Maybe it was Blade. But he points to the camera and stares at it, which I like the fact that he's learning. Like he's like, oh, that was a cool thing. I got a positive reaction from doing that. But like, pick your moments. I just felt like this was a little clunky. If he was a little bit more, he's not a huge personality. If he was a little more personality, I could almost see this being a cool Deadpool moment.
Yeah, I think
where he's the only one that acknowledges the camera.
That's really interesting. That's a good take, and that's something for him that it would be great if he had that. And I think he can be that big personality, but we haven't found it yet. Like AEW hasn't given him the ball yet for that. But we'll get into it. Keep going.
Then we get the Matt Hardy walks away again. Get Matt Hardy walking away again just to do that thing again.
Also he tweeted, which is like, he tweeted during the show that he said something like, how many times can Private Party let me down before I have to delete their friendship?
A little on the nose, Matt Hardy. Jeez. And we also get the FTR stare down with Young Bucks, which is a kind of cool moment.
Big reaction. There were a lot of moments that had really nice big reactions in this, which is like, again, like, it shows the intelligence of the AEW, not intelligence. It shows the memory of the AEW wrestling fan to remember all of it. I mean, Bucks and FTR is obvious, but the big moment is that stare down between Trent and Santana, referencing back to that parking lot brawl, which is still like one of the best matches in the history of the company, in my opinion. And it was nice to see that kind of reaction and for each one of those guys to get that moment. And
they all remember, like, it's just a nice moment for the audience to reward the audience. And huge reaction. AEW does a good job with that sometimes. But we get down to the final six. The final six being and it ended up being like the best of each team, which so it was. Isn't that
interesting?
It was Johnny Hungy, Santana, Trent, Dax, Kyle O'Reilly, but for some reason Nick Jackson accidentally got thrown out early, so Matt Jackson was there. And it was the almost best of each team. And they have this an interesting pair off. How do you like this? That was the best part of the match. Was that ending? Once it got to the six, totally. I really got into it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought like, look, AEW is very good at the predictable finish that works, and you're not mad about it. So like how the match finished made sense to me. You kind of saw that coming. My only beef is that the way they eliminated Dax was kind of a beef for me. Because it's kind of weird because it's heel on heel. So you're not getting that reaction. And again, like, you have to think AEW thinks that the fans who are attending their show in person are the smart wrestling fan. So they're the ones who are educated and caught up, and they gave Dax the moment, most likely based on his appearance on Renee Paquette's podcast, which I'm sure we'll talk about on the Weekly Wrestle. There's a lot of interesting things coming out of that. If you haven't listened to it yet, highly recommend. Story burying Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels piece of shit.
I did see that. We'll talk about that.
Woo! Anyway, what it bothered me that, Bobby Fish coming in, cheating, whatever, bothered me, but also in the back of my head, I was like, but this is in AEW terms, when something like this happens, this plants a seed for a future match between these two. Give me Fish and O'Reilly versus FTR all day, every day. That will be sick. And I thought it was going to be next week, but it's not next week. So now I hate it. Now I'm mad about it.
I hate the fact that there's two back-to-back Battle Royals, but let's just say who won here. At the end, they knocked out Dax, and it's just Kyle O'Reilly, Matt Jackson, and Johnny Hungy. and they're trying, like, Kyle O'Reilly's about to pick up John Silver, and he's about to throw him out, but his arm hurts. He asked Matt to do it, and then he throws them both over as they go
which was
over.
smart. That was
which
good.
was smart. But we get they're moving forward, which is exciting because I do think this is an interesting way of keeping them moving forward, and I like Kyle O'Reilly.
I like Bobby Fish too.
I like Bobby Fish a lot more after tonight. I like him a lot more after tonight. Red Dragon and the Bucks are now arguing in the ring. Then Hangman comes out to beat up Red Dragon.
Yeah.
And he has an interesting moment with the Young Bucks there. Very interesting moment. But then Adam Cole comes out and he tries to attack him, but he almost gets buckshotted. But luckily, Red Dragon saved him when Johnny hung. There's just too much. There's way too much going on to get to story time with Adam Page.
Baby. Yeah.
Baby.
I don't know. I liked it. I didn't think there was that much going on because all of the allegiances made sense. It all makes sense. And this is classic. And I know you're going to hate what I say. I can't wait to hate what you say. But this is classic Young Bucks storytelling because there's so much happening here. Like,
yeah, you're right.
No. Hold on.
Oh, that makes sense. You're right.
No. It's like, there's this like quiet, like, remember the Bucks like could have stopped Adam Page from winning the title. They could have gotten involved in the Kenny match. They let him go. So there's this quiet, like, understanding that maybe they treated Hangman like shit. And there's this weird like history that they have. Then there's the beef between Red Dragon and the Bucks. And then there's Cole and who is he like aligned with? Plus you've got this wild card of Kenny, who's going to come back sometime in March or April. And we don't know where he's going to stand. Like there's so many different ways that we can go with this. It's exciting for me. I like it because it's going to result in great matches and good storytelling. I'm not mad at the idea. I just don't like the execution. We have some comments in here. Mose, I'm still behind. Shiz. Bless you, Mose. John Busman. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, welcome to the chat, John. We're just talking about, getting right into Adam Page's story time. Yes. Where honestly, man, did this not hit it for me. Interesting. We have Adam Page talking about how Adam Cole started in 2008 and he wanted to shoot straight to the top. And now he wants the AEW title and he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it from him. But the star of this portion. Yeah. Bobby Fish. Because they had the camera on Adam Cole and they're just like, Adam Cole, you always go after everything. Something like that. And then Bobby Fish, you just hear him in the background. You damn right he does. Yeah, of course he goes after every single line that Adam Page says. Bobby Fish has a retort that's the dumbest, most Long Island. He says at one point, like Hangman says something about burying him 6 feet under or something. And Bobby Fish just goes, "You're a cowboy. You're a cowboy." Honestly, Bobby Fish. He kept saying, "Who you kidding?" He kept saying, "Who you kidding? Who you kidding?" That should be his catchphrase. Yeah, I think we found something for Bobby Fish that's really going to stick. I've never been so happy, but totally distraction. And Adam Page, and this was I honestly did not like this entire sequence after the win. Okay, that's fair. I like the story, what you're saying with the story. Yeah. I like that. It's just like, man, can there be a producer on this? Like, can someone just like talk to these people beforehand once? Just be like, hey, Bobby Fish, stop talking. Hey, maybe not so many people going back and forth. Why did Adam Page need to even attack? Why did Cole even need to attack Page? Why? Right. Why did Page have to come out in that manner? Like, it just felt like very clunky. Yeah, it was. I think the additional buckshot to O'Reilly was the only thing that I would have probably taken out. That's the only thing, because that felt like it delayed it a little bit, and there needed to be a little more kind of roundabout. And I understand that. I think, I don't know. This promo felt like a little flat for me. I didn't think it was Hangman's best work, but I thought it was good. But I think I just, we've talked before about how Hangman, maybe this isn't his best title run, and maybe every week I see him with that title, it becomes more and more legitimate to me. He's still getting huge reactions. Like he's still like doing this like ultimate babyface stuff. And you got to think he beat Danielson and then he beat Lance Archer, which is like whatever, but he's a monster in like a brutal, awesome match. And now he's going to fight Adam Cole in the main event of this pay-per-view, which might be, which we can get into later, the most star-studded, like hyped card on paper ever.
Yeah, this
Maybe.
is this may be definitely in AEW history. This is the most packed AEW show
Crazy.
I think we could ever say.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of good coming out of this segment. It's just, I wish it was a little cleaner. We have some comments here. Mo says, as soon as I'm done, I'll be in the real chat. As soon as you finish, get right back in here, Mo.
Get
we
in
have
here.
questions. But also,
we're jumping in.
What do y'all think of this beautiful new surroundings we have? Look at all that. You see all that? Look at all this fancy.
We're cleaning it up around here.
Look at all this stuff. You see that? Call the hotline. You call the hotline when you're ready. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And it's going to be there.
It's going to be there. Look at all this fancy stuff. Thank you, Roy. Everyone give a hoot for Roy.
Oh, come off
for doing such a good job. And also to Hannah Nance for the logo design at the bottom.
Check out Hannah Nance's website.
Yeah, HannahNance.com. I think it's called that. John Busey says, I like the Hangman came out, but I didn't really follow what he said because Bobby Fish stole the fucking show. It was hard. It was impossible to pay attention to anything else. But let's move on. Let's move on. We get Tony Schiavone with Bryan Danielson in the back, and they actually complete a real interview. This is a full interview with Bryan Danielson. And he says that they talk about Daniel Garcia and how they see a lot of him, and he's like, you could be the best, and you're hanging out with 2.0. He could be hanging out with me and Mox, but with 2.0. So he's just kind of throwing some shade, and he's going to give Mox his answer tonight. Good way to get us hyped for the main event.
100%. Right? I mean, I think, you gotta bring in the casual fan to the main event. Like people like us who have been watching a lot of AEW for a long time and watching Dark and all of that. Like you see, Daniel Garcia all the time, but you got to sell the casual fan on Daniel Garcia and give them something else to like wait for as well.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to read this real quick. Team Taz, John says, Team Taz in the ladder match. Ricky and Keith on my TV.
Dude,
that's Texas wrestling right there. That's Texas wrestling, and it's pretty exciting.
Really exciting.
It's Inspire Pro memory, real positive stuff.
If only Sammy was in the match too.
And I believe John Busman was at one point in litigation against Keith Lee. Maybe I forget who was litigating, but John Busman. AKA Preston Morrow, I believe has some pending lawsuits with either Ricky or Keith Lee.
Mr. Monday's lawyer.
Yeah.
Preston Morrow.
And my lawyer, Mr. Monday, Red Jefferson's lawyer. But we have to move on because now we're getting to some real serious talk.
Yeah.
Real serious talk. This is the most interesting part of the show.
This is it.
This is it. If you want to tune out right after this part, we cover this, you can't. I might. It's MJF comes out. MJF comes out and he cuts his own music. And he's just like, listen, I understand you're booing me. I'm not the easiest person in the world to deal with. I'm not the easiest person. And he likes CM Punk too. He loved CM Punk. And he loves pro wrestling. And I don't know if I should even go into the whole thing, or should I just say the fact that he basically cut a babyface promo talking about his history where he was on the football, he never fit in, and he joined the football team, and he was just one of two Jewish guys on the football team, or do you say the school of football team?
Trying out for the football team,
one of two Jewish guys, and he thought he found his friends and his all his people, that there was people, and then they just say some terrible anti-Semitic stuff, calling him names, and really kind of burying.
They called him a Jew boy. I'm Jewish.
You're allowed to say. I want to go say it.
Yeah, that's okay.
They saying these things, and he's trying to like strike a chord with the audience, and he's crying. He's emotional in the ring. The first time we're ever seeing MJF be emotional. First time we're seeing him ever be a person. And he talks about having learning disabilities and ADD and how high school is so hard. And then that was the night that he had those quarters thrown at him. The football team had quarters in their hands. They threw them at him. That night, he was so distraught, but he went to go see Punk. And that Friday night, just another Friday night for Punk, was a great day because that changed him. And he found a purpose and all this stuff. And when CM Punk quit, that destroyed him. It took away everything. He's just like, well, I don't want to be like CM Punk. I'm better than you. And you know it. Like, really amazing stuff.
Yeah. Before
we move on with that, feelings on the promo, and where did you think it was going, and where did it land for you?
I mean, this is, I have a bias ultimately. But this is the best professional wrestling promo I've heard live, maybe ever. My bias though is that, I am Jewish, and I also, experienced similar things in high school. Exactly what he described. I mean, swastikas on my notebook, being told to burn in ovens. Like, I experienced all of that. So like, it hit me on a personal level. So like, I do have a bias here, but just like the content, those specific things aside, AEW and MJF and CM Punk's approach to this is unlike anything I've ever seen in professional wrestling before. The ability he's not turning babyface by any stretch of the imagination. He's not. And at the end of the day, this isn't MJF's story. This is CM Punk's story. Because it's MJF saying, like, there's all of these people out there when he quit originally who were like, I bought your house and like, I'm responsible for your success, like me buying tickets and all of that. But then there are the people like MJF at the time who were like, I was buying your shit, but like, I'm not going to harass you on the internet. I'm genuinely heartbroken that you left. And it really like had an impact on my life. And now you're going to have to face that head on against me. And then, I mean, we'll get to it, but like,
let's get into
Punk coming out was like,
Punk comes out, no music. Punk just walks out. He gets in the ring and he's kind of staring at MJF, and MJF can't make eye contact with him. MJF can't look him in the eyes.
Crying.
He's crying, he's looking down. Like, he can't look at him. He can't even look at him in the eyes. And then Punk's just like, is this real? Is this real? And then
Max, is this real?
And MJF's just like, well, yeah, it's real. And then he just walks out of the ring, walks away up the ramp, and we're left with that moment there.
Thunderous boo too. The crowd thunderous boo of him walking away. Yeah. And the thing about it too, like, this is such a like an evolved baby face here. Like, in any other era, in any other promotion, the baby face comes out and makes fun of him to get a cheap pop. Like, this is real. They're taking this whole other approach, and it's making us care on a whole other level that we never even considered. It's incredible.
I have a theory, but let's read some comments here. Joe says, I haven't seen the MJF promo yet, but it sounds epic. Thanks for the overview, Red. Got to check it out. You're welcome, Joe. Mo says the swerve was real as fuck. Punk is buying in. I'm not sure if it's a swerve as much. Well, I have a theory. I actually have a very interesting theory, and I'm not sure if we're on the same page, Mose, or not. We'll find out. Nasty Martinez, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for coming. MJF was making me tear up. Yeah, it was emotional.
Absolutely.
An emotional.
When he said, where my Jews at? I like,
you're like, yeah!
On my couch. I was like, right here, baby. Because the other thing about that, like, as a Jewish wrestling fan, like, there are Jewish wrestlers, obviously, but the only people to ever point out their Judaism have been Barry Horowitz, Colt Cabana, and MJF. That's it. Goldberg never came to the ring, saying Mazel Tov or like whatever. Like, no. It never happened.
He did. As a matter of fact, he started a movie called Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah. He's like, the only time he pointed out his Judaism when he was on the Man Show, and Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel celebrated Hanukkah with Goldberg. As a 9-year-old, I was excited about that.
That's pretty sweet. Joe writes, the best heels are the ones that you can look at and say, I know you're a bad guy, but I can see why you think you're a good guy in every situation. My God, what a career this man is going to have.
Yeah.
Very good point. Very good.
Very good point.
John Busman says, it's amazing. Layers and layers and layers.
Yeah.
I have an interesting layer
that
I wanted to pose to you.
Go. Come on. Crackpot theory.
This is controversial. And honestly, what is MJF? What is MJF? Like, at the basis of his promo, what he said, he's like, I love wrestling.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with wrestling. Watches every tape, practicing promos. And what has he shown us every single time he's been in the ring is that he is a heel as heel can get.
Yeah.
The heelest heel. And what does he have right now? Undefeated winning streak.
Yeah.
And he's facing Punk. Imagine he uses his life story to tug on Punk's heartstrings.
Right.
Is that what we think he's going for?
Yeah, I do. I think he's playing head games. He's playing. He's
what a monster.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if they were going to go for, honestly, a portion of this. I was like, are they going to make him, is this a slow transition towards him being more of a face? But I think it's the exact opposite. I think it's for him to get the next level of heel where he has you, just like McFoley says, you have to build them up first before you knock them down.
Yeah.
That's what he did with all of his promos. He makes you think he's going one way and he cuts your legs out. Yeah. And that's what I think is going to happen here. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I mean, I don't know if it's as cut and dry as like the mind games aspect, but they're 100%. Like, I don't even know. Like, my initial thought was like, okay, well, next week there's going to be like Punk's going to come out. He's going to drop his guard and MJF's going to get him. And that's going to set up the heat for the pay-per-view. But like, I don't even know if that's necessary.
Not necessary. Honestly, a subdued MJF next week would be perfect.
Yeah.
A subdued, and then that, even him coming out to the ring for that pay-per-view, have him be subdued. And then somewhere in the middle, like Punk's just like want to shake his hand or something. Yeah. Something happens towards the end of the match and he takes advantage, something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just had a terrible thought. I had a very what he does, what he could do, and I'm probably gonna be, what if he hits him with a roll of quarters?
Oh, sure.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be like such heat. That would be such disgusting heat.
Yeah.
Nasty Martinez, I remember that documentary where they went into his past and they found out he never made the football team. Maybe it's a swerve or that's just not in continuity. Interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Possible.
John Busman, this pay-per-view is going to be insane.
John.
So Moza immediately agrees. This pay-per-view just got great.
Absolutely crazy.
Very exciting stuff.
Really
I can't wait. Yeah. Honestly, that was like the most dramatic AEW segment I've ever seen.
It's incredible. And then this other promo we're going to talk about in a little bit was just as incredible, but in a completely different way.
Interesting. I can't wait to talk to you about that. We're a few away from that, but let's get there. Next up, we got Tony Schiavone with 2.0 and Danny Garcia, and they don't want Bryan Danielson to swoop in. They don't want to swoop in and take away their Daniel Garcia, and Daniel Garcia doesn't want to be swooped.
No,
so it's not going to happen. We also got some. What is this? Mo's almost too many bouts. John Musman says Big Bubba Rogers' right hand. What is that a reference to?
Big Boss Man in WCW was Big Bubba Rogers, and he would do the quarters.
Oh, did he use quarters?
He used the quarters. Yeah, sure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So did who was it? Either David Flair, Reed Flair, or Ric Flair. One of them used the quarters on Eric Bischoff on Nitro to shave Eric Bischoff's head.
And Tatum Brown, McFoley's lead character Tatum, uses a roll of quarters to sock the jock in the face.
Tatum, good name. That's right. I forgot that he wrote that.
Yeah, he swallowed the quarters too.
Is that a good book?
I remember liking it.
Sure.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Moving on. We got Kings of the Black Throne versus Pac and the new Penta Oscuro. And it's very exciting. So we got Kings of the Black Throne coming out. They have their usual shtick, usual getup. We have Pac coming out alone, solo. Then we have Penta with this very elaborate entrance.
Yeah.
With Alex has got dressed in white face makeup and a red robe.
He's Vampiro.
He's going for Vampiro. That makes sense. And they bring him out to the ring. What do you feel about that before we even get into this?
I wish Pac had been a little more involved in the entrance. I know that like he kind of did the like gesturing to like come on out, like, which was good, but I just wish it was more like Pac dark and Penta dark as well, but I like it. I like it the thing that I really liked about it. And, I know that you feel this way about Penta is that he can kind of play to the audience a little too much. It's kind of the same shtick like every time. That's gone. When he's Penta Oscuro, he's not playing to the crowd. He doesn't have the glove on. He's a wrestler and he's more dangerous. And that I like a lot.
I just think that there's a lot of characters with a similar character development. Oh, I've turned and now I'm evil. And there's just feels like a few of those right now. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but it was a good match. We do get a great tag team match, and I like these two teams together.
Yeah, this is a really interesting thing because AEW doesn't do this like rematch thing often, and they're not even referencing it. But these two teams fought like 2 or 3 weeks ago in a match that was like, that was fine. Yeah. And this one was better. And I'm hoping this leads to like a blow off of some kind. I was joking in the LLW chat that it should be a 6-man graveyard match, but it kind of should be with the shovel and the mist and all the magic. Like, yeah, have them fight in a cinematic match.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that shovel. But we get the ending of the match. We get Penta stopped Malachi Black from spewing out his
I
stuff,
love that.
Swallows it, starts spazzing out. Yeah. And we get a roll up with Penta winning against Malachi Black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Malachi swallowed the mist, which I thought would cause a bigger stir or a bigger reaction.
I thought so too.
It did nothing. It just
and also he just kind of got up. He was like, I'm in pain. Now I'm okay. Then he drank some water. Yeah. And he was like, okay, now I'm really good.
That it was just like, I'm like, why did they even use that? Why did they use that as a thing? Because I thought this was supposed to be poison.
Right. Like, he just swallowed poison.
He just swallowed poison.
He was choking and struggling, and Brody King's just beating the shit out of these two guys and paying zero attention to his tag team partner dying.
And then Malachi Black grabbed a shovel, walked over to Penta, and he's about to cut his head off with the shovel. He raised it above his head, and he was about to cut his head off on TV. and then the lights go out, and JR hated this. The lights go out. They just keep going out. No one's paying the bill. He gets very upset. And then the lights go out for a while. Buddy Matthews is now in the ring.
Yeah, huge reaction, by the way.
Huge reaction for Buddy Matthews. And he's staring down Malachi Black, and Excalibur's just like, oh, there's history between these two. They had done a lot of stuff together, and they're gonna do things. And then he attacks Pac and Penta, and Malachi orders him around a bunch. Why did he stop him from cutting his head off if he's Team Malachi?
Yeah, it's messy. Buddy Matthews is the practical one in the group. He's like, hey, guys, we could cut this guy's head off, but maybe we could just punch him a little bit.
Come on. That's funny.
Let's go.
Well, he's not that practical. Then he face stomped him into a chair.
Right. Yeah, he's like, I can just do that. He won't die.
Brody took out some security too, which was
pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty good
cool
stuff.
Yeah.
But an interesting segment, too much going on in it.
There's a lot happening.
Too much.
But I liked it.
Honestly, I don't think Buddy Matthews should appear the same night Penta Oscuro appears. Like, give it some space. Let one be special.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of cramming. We have some comments in here. Mo says, I tried to call in. Yes. You call the hotline. Leave a message on the hotline. I don't think we should do live call-ins. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I don't know if it works on the post show.
We're gonna find a way.
Yeah,
we're gonna find a way.
The
weekly wrestle. We're gonna figure it out. Where are we? John Buseman. There were a lot of quarters in WCW. There were a lot of quarters. That's how they got paid. Mo says Penta did 0 crowd actions. That's good.
Yeah, which was cool. Good. It feels different.
John Busen says drinking water is not evil. Drinking water is for nerds. Show him, John. Nasty Martinez, the black mist is evil juice, so if he drinks it, he's fine. I guess if he's already evil, you can't become more evil.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's probably like a limit. It's probably like having too much vitamin C. You just pee it out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
John Buseman, Junior's brains are filled with barbecue sauce. What? Oh,
they are. I also love, by the way, like a real quick little thing. So Buddy Matthews is in the ring, and like they've done the beat down, and the three of them are standing tall in the middle of the ring. And then the lights go out again because it's just part of their exit. And when the lights go out again, Tony's like, oh God, like he's so scared. He gets spooked so hard. That's why like Tony is oblivious to everything that's going on around him, but in the best possible fun grandpa way. And JR is just miserable.
Miserable. Hates it all. And Mose agrees with John about the brains of barbecue sauce. Joe writes, too many wrestlers threatening opponents with decapitation lately. Drew with his sword. Oh, Drew McIntyre tried to chop someone in half on SmackDown recently or whatever. Can someone be arrested for attempted manslaughter just once?
Hawkins going to show up with Preston Morrow next week.
Yeah, that's what
to press charges.
Honestly, if we could get John on AEW Dark, that would be a big, like, just someone's lawyer. I want to get him up there. And by the way, just making sure, I noticed something, and it seems like I kind of let you guys off easy because I was using the honor system. But the fact that none of you, the two of you, though I won't even say the number, y'all should be liking this more. I was being nice by not bringing it up, but it seems like I have to. It seems like you have to press the like.
Gotta bring it up.
You gotta bring it up. But yeah, so we got that. Malachi's got a new buddy with him, and it's very exciting for the Kings of the Black Throne. I do say that Buddy Matthews needs to get better, different tights. Needs to fit the theme. He can't have those flowy gladiator pants.
Yeah, sure. Take away the white at least.
Yeah,
but let them be different. You know.
Be different, tights. But patent leather flowy things are no good. Nasi writes, those guys are actually pressing charges for getting beat down backstage in MLW. Wait, what?
Tell me more,
Nasi. Mo says, dogs, this was a packed episode. You're damn right.
It sure was.
We have some more to cover. We have two. Nessie, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a dislike now. No, Nessie, no.
Nessie, take it easy.
Please, I'm so sorry.
We need these likes, dog.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't say it enough. Do not dislike. Moving on, we're gonna go to another segment. Okay. It's the Eddie Kingston Jericho confrontation. And I have a feeling they were both given different notes about what this was supposed to do.
Yo, come on now. Come on.
This was one of the most disjointed, I need this to end segments I've seen in a while.
No way. Keep going.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it. First thing, there's security guards already in the ring, which was dumb.
I loved it, but Eddie Kingston calls it out for being dumb.
No, I agree. He calls out the things for being dumb, but when you call out things that you're actively participating in and abiding in dumb, and then like respect them, then you look dumb. You know, that's kind of being like, that's kind of like a wrestler going to the ring saying wrestling's fake. I'm gonna have a match.
No. Like, keep going.
It's the world. It's a scenario where you're in. Play into it a little bit. I don't know, but either way, Jericho comes out, and Eddie, as Jericho, honestly, he arranged for the guards to be there, and Eddie keeps interrupting, but make fun of, and he made fun of women's wrestling at one point, which was weird.
He didn't. Who made fun of women's wrestling?
Well, he didn't make fun of women's wrestling. He just totally disregarded the women's wrestlers. In the moment, he's just like, "What are we having this segment for? Why are we confronting each other for? Why would you, Tony? Why don't you send out Chris Statlander and Willow, whatever her name is, out here?"
He said Willow Nightingale. First of all, second of all, he's saying that because he's saying he'd rather see women's wrestling than participate in this segment.
It felt dismissive. It felt dismissive. Maybe you didn't mean it that way, but it felt dismissive. So either way, we get Jericho telling the story of Eddie Kingston. And he's just like, when I first saw you, you look like a jobber. Honestly, Jericho in the first portion of this ripped him apart.
Jericho.
But Jericho rips him apart, said Eddie would be a big baby face. He mentioned baby face for some reason. Anybody's jealous of Jericho because he got this when he was 38. When he was 22, he was in the position he's in right now, all that stuff. And then he kind of hands it off to Kingston. And Kingston has nothing to say.
Yeah.
Kingston,
I know, it's perfect.
He's like, I'm keeping it real.
It's perfect.
He mumbles a bunch. He messes up words. He said, my heart don't pump Kool-Aid. My heart don't pump Kool-Aid, you bloodsucker. And then he makes fart noises at one point. The Jericho, but then like neither one knows how to end. So they just keep going. So then Jericho says, you're achievophobic and your uncle and father are failures and you're a failure.
This is great.
And I would have I thought that's where it should have ended. if Eddie hit him. Eddie's this tough guy that doesn't want to be disrespected. And for some reason, he's getting literally like Jericho keeps going into his face, touching his chest, being like, "You're a failure. Your father and uncle are failures. I heard your story."
And
he's like,
he didn't touch it. When he said that, he backed up. When Jericho was saying that, Jericho started backing up because he knew. But keep finishing that.
And then I just wrote at one point, this segment won't end. That Jericho kept saying fear of success. They're going to have a match at the pay-per-view, which is the reason why we're here. What did you like about this? Tell me your thoughts. Okay.
I loved everything about this. Okay. First of all, Jericho is at home now. Jericho's been wandering lost out in the world in little babyface land for a long time. And he's back home now and he's great. He's a piece of shit and it's perfect. First of all. Second of all, this is Eddie Kingston's perfect opponent and perfect storyline.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that.
Third of all, this was a segment. Let's drill down into here. Okay. Eddie Kingston's, he's the king of all. Hey, partner, like I can out-talk anybody. I'm a master at talking and da. But every single person that he's ever feuded with has never attacked him in this way. Kingston sees Jericho as everything that Jericho sees himself as. So Kingston doesn't have these fire comebacks. He doesn't have all these intelligent things to say. It's like the college educated versus, the bricklayer. That's literally the story they're telling. Jericho's high and mighty. Kingston's this working class underdog who's trying to overcome things. And he's got nothing to say because Jericho's right. And Kingston knows Jericho is right. And all he can do is fight him and prove him wrong. That's the only way to do it. So Kingston's trying to keep up, but he can't. And he knows that he can't, which is why he just keeps trying to fight him, but he won't touch him because Jericho's in Kingston's head and Kingston knows it, but he's not going to let him show it. He's going to just have to fight him and overcome this at the pay-per-view. So yeah, he doesn't have all these witty comebacks because they're not the same person. They're not on the same level. And Kingston knows that. And he has to rise up to Jericho's level and he has to find it somewhere inside of him. That's what I got from this.
I felt like I was watching an improv set where no one edited. And they just didn't know when to go home.
That's wrong.
And
honestly,
it's funny. It felt like Jericho was a stand-up, and Eddie Kingston never did improv before. And so Jericho goes in with all his thoughts laid out, and he spews them out as soon as he gets in there. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. I kind of don't know why I'm here. Someone told me to come out here, and I want to fight. And it just felt so. Honestly, I like Eddie Kingston in promos. I think he can do really great promos. I think he went out here I think he goes out there with a plan. I think when he went out there with Cody, he had a plan of what he was going to say, not necessarily like written out, but he had an idea of where he's going to go. I think his best things are when he has a little bit of time to think of it. He gets so flustered that he doesn't know how to speak anymore. When he's nervous, he gets flustered and he starts spewing out word vomit. And I think this was a bad way to showcase that.
I think it was perfect.
Man, let's read some of these comments.
And you know what's funny though, real quick, before you read this, you know who I was thinking of this entire promo was Joe, because Joe doesn't like Kingston. And I was like, Joe's going to hate this. But if you really look past what they're saying and what it all means underneath the words, you have to love Kingston. Like you have to love the underdog story that they're telling here.
No, the story's great. Let's talk about this. A lot of things here. Well, let's get to the part. Mo says you can't threaten death. It's a fatal flaw. That we're talking about Malachi Black a little bit. Upvote now. I'm not sure what that means. John Busman says disagree, dog. I think this is where we're going to get to this.
Dog.
Nasty says I looked it up. I forgot the names of the guys involved. Bombe Fight Club apparently pressed charges on Tankman and MLW.
Calvin
Tankman. To look at. We're going to have to find more about that. Maybe talk about the news. John Busman says, but Jericho requested the security.
Exactly.
Good point, John.
Exactly.
Fine.
Such a heel move.
I'll allow that. I don't care about the security that much. Nasty says, Eddie saying, what's a babyface killed me. Yeah, that was fun. I think it was stupid for Jericho to be using insider terms. I hate that.
Yeah.
We both hate that, right?
Yeah.
We're finding common ground. I'm trying to find common ground with you so you don't hate me.
John
Busman says he said he'd rather see wrestling rather than do this.
And it's specifically women's wrestling.
Yeah, but the way he said it, it just came up.
It's just how Eddie talks.
No, I know. Everything he said in this came off rough. Honestly, I would. We should all watch it again. We should do a watch along.
And the whole thing with sports entertainment, he's like, this is sports entertainment. And like, I don't want to see this. I want to fight you. Like that plays into who he is. And that plays into this like caveman mentality that he has, but that's how he has to survive.
No,
he hasn't gotten the chance to go to these institutions and be part of these institutions and learn how to sports entertain. He just knows how to wrestle.
But he tried to do it in there. He's just like, I want to see the Jericho, blah, blah. I want to see the Jericho, blah, blah. I want to see the Jericho, the Paul Levesque, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and sure. There's that little, like,
the thing is like, and he did it in a bad way. Like he wants to do it like that. I think he had an idea of what he was going to do. And he got flustered when he was out there and he forgot half of it. And that's because he forgot it. Because he forgot, Jericho didn't get his cue. So he kept saying the same thing over again. Jericho kept saying the same thing, waiting to get a cue to end it. And he was like, Jericho said the same thing 3 or 4 times in a row after Eddie Kingston breaks. It was pretty nuts.
I will say, Kingston is better when he's in the ring by himself than when he has to go back and forth with someone.
100%.
I will say that.
I think we could agree on that.
I will.
Kingston, John says Kingston doesn't respect Jericho, and that infuriates Jericho. Jericho backed up every time Eddie stepped up. Made sense to not go at all because there are guards there.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
They're just going to break it up.
It felt very like Jericho was like berating him and like literally making a child out of him. And Eddie's just like, you better watch what you say, and never backed it up with anything. Mo says, I feel like we were going to get a Hook buy-in.
Like a buy-in match for Hook at the pay-per-view, which is cool. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be great. John Buston says Team Roy, of course. Joe says, I agree with Jericho. Kingston is a jobber.
Yeah,
okay, Joe. Joe, you're going too far off. You're going too far. You're going Q with this. You're going Q.
I'm getting into like a Kingston mode. When Joe hates on Kingston, all I want to do is like, Joe, why are we talking? Why ain't we fighting, dog?
You guys are going to fight. Mo says, are we ready to start that now? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Because I would love to be able to read these in real time one day. Kingston has to lose at Revolution though, right? Jericho versus Kingston. I hope not.
Gosh, that's really interesting. I was thinking about that right now. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, that's Nonchalance Invasion. Thank you so much, Nonchalance.
Yeah, Nonchalance. What's happening?
Nonchalance Invasion. Thank you so much for joining. But yeah, I don't know. I think Kingston's winning. Right?
I hope so. I don't know. I think at some point Kingston's got to start winning. Like it has to happen. He's lost enough big matches where he's got to win at some point.
Mo sent us something, then retracted it. I see. Joe writes, Jericho taking drunk Eddie to school. He's not drunk, Joe. He's just full. He had a pepperoni pizza before he came out. Mo says, Red Kingston AEW 2023. Red Kingston AEW champ. Oh, no, you're saying hashtag Red Kingston AEW champ. I want Kingston to be champ.
Oh, boy.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I am not trying to say I'm anti-Kingston. I'm not anti-Kingston.
I'm not saying that. I don't think you are Kingston. I just think you're anti-Kingston in this segment.
Yeah, I'm definitely anti-Kingston in this segment. I think Joe writes, I think most Kingston promos are word vomit. All kidding aside, I like a very traditional wrestler in promo. That ain't Kingston. Good that you like it though. That's true. That's a beautiful thing. I wish our political system can cross the aisle like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. Yeah. Nasi writes, the whole fight me thing didn't work here. It didn't feel justified. Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Again, like let's think about this.
Nasi with a dunk right there.
When someone is getting eviscerated, like I don't know. I'm on Kingston's side.
One of the thing is, and
I'm on Kingston's side.
If someone were doing that to you, you'd scratch their eyes out. If they were just saying like your brother, your mother, your sister, your mother, like all your family, you would lose it. And that's what we want from Kingston. That's what everyone wanted from Kingston in that moment, just to sock him. And the thing is, because he didn't sock him, it made him look like a weenie in front of everyone.
But that's the thing. And that's why I relate to Kingston. Cause it's like, if I'm in a situation where someone's just verbally eviscerating me, and I start to get like real like fidgety and don't have a good comeback, I'll just go to like, well, why don't you fucking fight me then? Let's go. You want to fight? Let's fight. And I think Kingston was kind of doing that, but like, yeah, you're right. He didn't attack. But again, there's security guards who was trying to keep his composure, etc. So I don't know.
We have S in here. I haven't watched the show yet, but there is no way Eddie was bad. Red's wrong. I don't even need to watch the segment to know Red is wrong on this.
Leave a voicemail. Leave a voicemail.
Leave a voicemail.
I want to know what you think about this segment.
Leave a voicemail. Leave some voicemails for us. We want those voicemails, and hit that smash and like button.
Yeah, do that too.
Yeah, do that too. John Busen says, you thought Eddie's string at the end was bad? Eddie's string.
Where he said the thing, I don't want this Jericho. I loved that he said, I don't want the mimosa match Jericho. I love that he said that.
Yeah, no,
that's some bullshit. So bring it.
I'm fine with that little nugget. If that was the nugget we got, but there was 5 minutes on either side of not that. That was the only good part of what he said. And that was the only part he thought of beforehand.
I also think
that's the only part he thought of beforehand.
He was trying to handle it the way a normal like in-ring segment would handle it, because traditionally if Eddie's talking to someone in a promo, he's cutting them off, he's talking over them, he's being really disrespectful, but he wasn't this time. So I think he had too much time to think, so he was losing his train of thought, and he was just like, I got so much to say, I don't know where to go. And I relate to that. I
think they have to start treating, they have to treat him differently. He's very special, and like alone in the ring or at backstage interviews or video packages where you get to have it right up on his face. These type of things he gets flustered.
Yeah, there's gonna be more of that. And I'm excited.
Nasty says, if he was able to curse, I feel like he would do more. Not sure. I think he's able to curse. Oh,
he's able to curse a little bit.
He's not able to mother effer. Yeah. Mo says, I'm team Red tonight so far. Wink. What does that mean? Why are you taking it back? Why are you putting an asterisk on this? Let's just be team Red sometimes. Then S wrote something but retracted it. Classic.
S wrote, why aren't you reading my comment? But you read his comment.
Oh, that's what you wrote? Of course I read your comment. Yeah. Nonchalance Invasion says, hey guys, doesn't he need to go through some kind of character change before it makes sense for him to start winning?
Nonchalance Invasion. This might be it. This might be the
honestly,
maybe not even a character change, but he needs to get over some type of mental hump. And Jericho could represent that mental hump. If he beats Jericho, that could be what he needs to turn him in the direction of a champion, etc.
Yeah, we'll see. Nasty writes, if he just stayed quiet, he would come off cooler instead of word vomiting. You're damn right, Nasty.
I understand that, right. Nasty, but also Kingston's I think Nasty's not team cool. Red. Kingston isn't cool. Like, he's not supposed to be like a cool, calm, collected babyface. He's like a living on the edge of a lightning bolt, gonna have a mental breakdown at any moment kind of.
That's why he should have fought.
We're gonna find out.
You want to kill me right now? You're like, this is your head, Red. Most smash like. Smart move. You should smash like too.
That's smart. That's good business.
Joe writes, Red is right. At the end of the day, this is a predetermined TV show. I haven't seen the show yet, but based on the recap here, Eddie screwed up and missed his cues.
There seems to be some home cooking there in those comments.
Joe writes, if Eddie can't do promos in the ring with folks, that is a problem. I guess that he's special, but come on. Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
Joe is just you're anti-Eddie.
You're anti-Eddie. Because the thing is, like, different people are better at different things. Brock Lesnar, before recently, he was great in those backstage video packages. You put him out in the ring, he looked like a baby about to poop himself.
I watched his babyface promo on Monday. They're not very good, but
they're getting better.
He's got some enthusiasm.
He's got enthusiasm now, which is it's exciting.
Did you see that clip real quick? Did you see that clip of, like, he goes up to a little kid in the front row and he's pointing at the belt and he's like, hey, look at my belt, touch my belt. And the kid's like, and then he grabs the kid's hand and is like making the kid touch his belt. It's so funny.
That is very funny.
Strong arm baby face Brock.
Oh, that's so good. Nasty writes, I think you're being a little harsh, Joseph. Usually he's pretty good. They use Joseph. That's pretty big. He's usually pretty good. The last month, Chris Jericho cut one of the worst promos I'd ever seen. One of the worst that wasn't racist or something that is just plain boring. Yeah, no, Jericho had this was the first part was part of Jericho's best work.
Yeah.
Honestly. But then they got in the rambling stages. But like that first part where he's just like, you look like a jobber. You look like an idiot.
Like this is where he says that thing. And he said it, and it's true that he didn't know who Eddie Kingston was. I also, this little like subtle jab at Cody. Did you hear that one?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Like, what's his name? Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. John Busen says, Joe watched the show. Joe says, yeah, but Brock is beyond special in the ring. Plus, WWE saw his weakness and gave him the promo god that is Heyman. Sure, but like we said, like he's special at specific things. Everyone's special at their own special thing. No one's perfect.
no one's perfect, but also Joe, like I'd be curious to know. And I this isn't like a jump on Joe thing, by the way. Joe, I'm beyond grateful that you watch this and that you're commenting and you're interacting with this. This is what makes this show great. What we're doing here is that we get to talk to everybody and have these conversations. But have you never seen an Eddie Kingston promo that you liked? Because if that's true, I gotta send you some. We gotta talk backstage.
We should find. That's a good idea. I think we should put it on Twitter.
Yeah, put him on Twitter.
We'll balance out his poor performance tonight with some good ones he used to do.
That was great. It was just different, but it was great.
But very interesting. Honestly, even though I hated the segment, it was interesting. But I will say it went on way too long. Way too long. Cut that shit in half. That was 15. That was 15 minutes. It should have been 7.
I don't know. 7 minutes. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I just liked it. I'm excited for this match. It's the first match Jericho's been involved in that I'm excited about in about a year, if not more.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where it goes. I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for the feud. I'm excited for the match. This was a little hiccup in my brain, but I see where you're coming from, and I'm not trying to negate you.
I understand. And
I validate your feelings.
And I'm not trying to invalidate yours. I understand where you're coming from. I get it.
The emotional intelligence on the show.
It's crazy. It's really wild. I'm also not trying to invalidate Joe's feelings either. Joe, I get it. I understand it. And I respect you. I'm just, coming at you with my viewpoint.
I want everyone to know if you invalidate a single person's feelings on this chat, I don't want to hear a single microaggression. Not one. All right. None of that.
Right.
Joe says he has his moments, but at the end of the day, I don't like his style. I don't think that's going to change unless you show me a completely different promo type from him. We'll show you some things, Joe. We'll see it. Yeah. But moving on, we get Matt Hardy in the back when the most production issue riddled segment I've ever seen. They had Matt Hardy with Andrade in the House of Hardy, whatever they called it. Yeah. And they're chatting backstage and they're talking about I have no idea.
No clue.
I have no idea what they're talking about. There's a match and then he wants Isaiah Cassidy to be in it, but they had music playing in it. They showed flashes of different people wrestling during the middle. They forgot that this is like a backstage thing, not a video package. It was very confusing. Did you get anything from that?
Did you see? So after Hangman hit Kyle O'Reilly with the buckshot lariat and the three of them are on the ramp and Bobby Fish is being hilarious, Kyle O'Reilly has this face the whole time. This face because he just got hit with the buckshot. So he's concussed. That's how I felt in this segment. I was just so confused. They announced a match for the pay-per-view, but I have no idea what the match is and who's fighting.
It's a trios something.
Yes, it's like a trios tornado
match. The first ever tornado trios match. And I have no idea who's in it. If anyone knows, let us know.
It's Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy versus 3 members of the Hardy Andrade coalition. And I don't know who. I think Andrade and maybe Private Party. I have no idea. Somebody
no sense.
Help me.
We have some comments here. Joe says, again, I give him credit for being different than most. And then he writes, this show is canceled. Lol. John Busman says, every AHFO, honestly, that is the worst acronym.
Yeah,
that does
many
not flow. AHFO
words.
Segment makes no sense. Matt Hardy says Matt Hardy's making clowns of everything he touches.
It's just getting increasingly more batshit to set up for the return of Jeff Hardy and the Hardy Boys, and hopefully the disbandment of this horrible stable.
I've never seen someone with such confidence in a gimmick that doesn't work.
Yeah,
Matt Hardy is so confident in this Money Matt gimmick, where he's very loud. I wouldn't say charismatic, but loud and very it doesn't make any sense. It feels like such a. I just wish he'd save this energy for something else, but he is where we're getting to. John Buston says Andrade and Private Party. I think it was very unclear. Mo says this 3-way of Red Dragon, JE, and Young Bucks.
Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus.
Jungle Express and Young Bucks. Oh, that's what the 3-way is going to be. That's probably going to be that. Yeah, it probably will be. But we had that. So let's just move on from that. We can't.
Yeah, I think that's the right move.
But next we get the Face of a Revolution qualifier. Ricky Starks versus 10. And what I saw, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say I was really nervous about this match.
I was nervous about this match. It was a little slow.
Yeah, I didn't pay a ton of attention to this.
It was a little slow, and I kind of felt a little zoning outy during it. But the finish was he gets 10 gets him in the master lock, and he said master lock. I was hoping to make
pretty good.
It's Chris Masters.
Pretty good.
But he gets him in
what's it called? The Hurt Lock now with Bobby Lashley's move. It's a Hurt Lock.
It's just begging to be called the Hurt Locker. Why aren't you just calling it?
Oh yeah,
he's a Marine or a SEAL or something, right?
He looks like it. Did you like Chris Masters' whole gimmick of getting out of the move? You like?
I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
What a great move. Because one of the thing is, I just love because it's just a story for his move. It doesn't always have to be a story about you. It doesn't have to be a story about where you're from or what character does or where your job is. It could be about your move. Like the DDT is just like, well, you're asleep now. That's the thing with the DDT.
Dog, there's this one spot, by the way, that I just want to first quickly touch on that I forgot about in the Battle Royal where I don't remember who it was. Either it was Kyle O'Reilly, it was Dax Harwood, and maybe it was Trent. I don't know, but they all exchanged flippy kicks and all these things. And then Dax got involved, and rather than do some high spot DDT kick, he just fakes him out with a punch and DDTs him. And it's so perfect. Yeah. It was such a perfect little spot. I just wanted to touch on that. Dax Harwood, incredible.
Awesome. As a singles too.
Oh yeah.
Really great. We have some comments here. Can we bring back Joe writes, can we bring back Mattitude? Always a fan of that.
Love Mattitude.
I love it in doses. I don't think it works anymore.
I think it's better. Yeah, that's fair. But I like it. He was the first person that I can remember that ever did the special graphics coming to the ring. And I loved that shit. Matt Hardy always felt, because he had with the gold, but I'm talking about the
bars.
Oh,
the movie bars.
Interesting. Good call out.
The NWO went black and white.
I guess so.
DX split in the screen from them.
I've never hated DX more than right now. But I will say, so real quick, a quick aside. This Friday, GCW in California, X-Pac making his return to the ring.
I'm gonna be there.
You're gonna be there?
I'm gonna be at GCW on Saturday.
On Saturday, but not on Friday?
What's Friday? Is it Friday?
They do it Friday and Saturday, yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm going to shit myself. Moving on. We got Mo saying, #red. John Busey says he's getting more erratic. He was doing the delete to Smart Mark during the commercial break in Bunny Jade. We'll get to that. John Busey says, Ricky.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Most is 10 not winning was not what I thought. Big beefy boys. Nasi says, I liked his multiple personality gimmick thing. He should have done that until Jeff came. Yeah, honestly, should have.
I agree. Yeah, I think this was. Did you also feel that 10 was going to win this to keep up with the big beefy boy theme running through this ladder match?
I'm so glad they didn't do that. Honestly,
I'm thrilled.
I don't want Keith Lee in this match, but I'm fine with him being in it. I just want to save him versus Powerhouse Hobbs down the line. I think that's going to happen pretty quick. I want to see all the things he could do with these little guys, throwing them around, and then a few months down the line, saying oh, what the fuck would he do with a big guy? Yeah, I understand that. I'm glad that they're cutting down on the beef a little bit and getting some Ricky Starks in there. And honestly, it's going to tell a good story with Ricky and Powerhouse. Yeah, and Ricky deserves to be on a fucking pay-per-view already. I think this is Ricky's time. It's time. It's Ricky's time. It's time. I think we need it. Like the most he should. Yeah, we already got that. And excellent. So Ricky Starks wins, and we're happy for it. We're happy for it. Slow match. But I believe 10 for that. Yeah, well, 10's 10. 10's 10. I like the 10's doing the 10 though now. Is he doing the 10 thing? Yeah, he's doing the 10. Spears must be pissed. Next up, we get the Young Bucks confronting Red Dragon. And again, Bobby Fish shines. Yeah. I don't know how much coffee he had beforehand, but I've never seen the man more alive. He's just like, what? You're trying to pick on me? I'm going to beat you up. And he's just like, you're being Eddie Kingston right now. You're being a better Eddie Kingston than Eddie Kingston right now. You're out Kingstoning Eddie. Yeah, I was looking for my dog for a second. I'm sorry. That's fair. She's over there. Okay, good. But he was great in the segment, and we'll just see where this goes. I like that Kyle calls Brandon Landon. I think that's funny. That is fun. I just don't want to acknowledge Brandon after.
Um,
Mo says Beefy Boys versus Baby Arms. That's Beefy Boys versus Adam Cole. Mo says, can we disagree the FTW title is not real? It is tangible, which makes it real.
Yeah.
It definitely exists in our plan.
But it's also not real at the same time. It's not of any value.
Is any title really of value?
Well, yes. I like to pretend as if these titles mean something. Because what's the point of wrestling without it? Not the FTW, but the AEW championship does mean something.
FTW title only has 3 championships over the course of 30 years, Roy. There's only been 3 champions.
Look at this.
Over 30 years.
Like a 17-year champ there, pal.
Pretty impressive.
There's been 4 champions.
Who?
Taz, Sabu, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks.
Oh, Sabu won.
Sabu took it out of the garbage and put a piece of tape over Taz's name. Yes.
That's pretty good. John Busey says, Fish was great tonight. Mo says, my daughter just got turned by Fish.
Hell yeah.
What does that mean? Turned
into a wrestling fan? Because of Bobby Fish?
Imagine all the fans that Hook and Fish are going to be bringing in. John Busey says, FTW is real. John Busey, Taz made it. It's real. Team Red. All the titles are the same. That's my point. But yeah, we get that. Next up, we're getting a Jade versus Bunny match. And Bunny does not get an entrance because they don't feel that the title match is very important. And Jericho needed a ramble for an extra 3 minutes. So they couldn't give Bunny an entrance, which is a shame. But Bunny did seem pissed about it. And they immediately go into commercial break.
About it.
And they immediately go to commercial break. But when we get back, it was actually a pretty good match.
Yeah, I mean, you look, Allie the Bunny, I mean, she's been wrestling for 10, 15 years. I mean, she's the type of people who Jade should be in the ring with. Get those experience. Job. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I wish Jade would sell a little bit more. Sell a little bit less, I mean. Kind of be a little bit more of a monster rather than flail your arms around every time you get hit. But really good stuff. And we had a really great ending where that terrible Matt Hardy jumps on the apron, blatantly throws Brass Knuckles in. Then Smart Mark blatantly throws the belt in. They both and the waiting and the setting up this cue where she punches into the chair.
Into the belt, into the championship. Yeah.
Very forced.
My issue with this is that it was a babyface move. They're laying these hints that Jade's turning babyface, but then she's still acting like a heel. But it's a babyface move to block the Brass Knuckles with the belt and not use the belt afterwards.
Yeah.
That was a babyface move, but then they didn't capitalize on that momentum, but instead Jade got distracted and rolled up. And, obviously she didn't lose, but they could have built off that momentum of that spot, in my opinion. But the finish was good. The actual sequence to finish the match was strong
right now, but she had her in something.
Bunny was going to go for her move, one of her signature moves. So she had Jade in a position that allowed Jade to counter it directly into the Jade, which was really cool.
She sold it great. Her facial expression when she went up was really cool. Really good stuff. But yeah, we got Jade with the win there. And what we get afterward which was actually very interesting.
Yeah.
Tony gets the mic. Tony comes into the ring, gets the mic. I think we just had an earthquake. Jay gets in the ring. Jay just takes the mic away from him. She says to get the hell out of here. And she's just like, so who's next or who's left? Which was a great thing. Then Ty Conte comes out here.
Yeah.
Sets, which was really cool. She runs right in and gets right in Jade's face, which was really cool. They get right into her face. But I wish that they I don't know. It was just a weird little rumble there for a second. Gets right into her face. Then Jade kisses her forehead, which was really good.
She kissed her forehead? I missed that.
Oh yeah. Gets right in her face. And she just kisses her forehead. And then Ty punches her, but then Jade just wasn't ready for the punch. And it just got real awkward.
I have to go back and watch
up until Bunny attacks Ty. So Bunny attacks Ty. And then there's this weird moment where Ty gets pump kicked, and then Anna Jay comes running out to the ring with a chair, and it looks like she's never held a chair in her life.
Yeah, that was weird. That whole thing was
so uncomfortable holding that chair. Have her bring something else, a kendo stick, a pipe, or something.
Yeah,
she did not want to hold that chair.
Yeah.
She did not like that chair.
Yeah.
How did you feel about this ending?
So in theory, I loved it. I do think the execution was a little clunky because also she says what she says, like Ty says what Ty says, and then Jade is trying to establish that the match is going to be at Revolution on pay-per-view, but she gets into the ring too quickly, so she kind of cuts Jade off as she's trying to finish talking. That was the thing that stuck out to me because I was really excited.
I didn't notice
because I was like, there's going to be 2 women's matches on this pay-per-view. Both titles are going to be defended on the pay-per-view. That's really exciting. But she kind of got cut off as it was happening. So that was a problem for me. And then the other thing about something that AEW doesn't do very often that I thought was really good here is every time a wrestler's like, there's nobody left, I'm the best. And it's like that cue for a wrestler to come out. It's always a debut. It's always somebody new. This is a perfect example of like someone who's existing on your roster that can also get a huge reaction from the crowd. You don't need to always debut somebody new.
That's a good
point.
So
it was refreshing to just see someone who's already on the roster get this opportunity.
And we like Ty. We don't like her personal choices, but we like Ty.
Well, you notice, you know what I was thinking? She kind of got booed a little bit when she came out. And I wonder if it's because of her.
Sammy's ruining her.
Sammy's just making her less likable.
We have, was that a Team Red in there? Oh yeah, we already read that. Mo says, whoa, Roy, after the title change. I don't know what that.
I said something about the titles being important, I guess.
Nassie makes a great point. FTW championship is a psyop, and I believe it. That's very funny. Joe writes, most titles aren't real. What tangible things do winners get on TV? No mention of more money, etc. They are mostly used as belts. Sad. You're right. It's so funny sometimes. That's what JR likes to do. He's just like, yeah, the championship gets a purse. A bigger purse at the end. You get it sometimes.
Not true as much anymore.
Not at all.
But maybe though. Who knows?
Mo says she knows she now likes fish. Oh, your daughter likes fish.
That's
awesome.
Really
sweet. He's a funny looking guy, so I get it. Nassie says AEW shat on Bunny. She deserves better. Damn right. She deserves an entrance. Joe writes, especially in cases where the titles are hot shotted a lot. More WWE than AEW. That's true.
Yeah.
John Busman says, now that Danielson working with Jade, I like the parts where she was showing off, making muscles while getting holds in. Yes. Yeah. She's definitely showing her personality more. I just want her to be more of a monster.
But yeah, that was at one point she was like doing some like chain wrestling and like working Bunny's arm. You're huge. You're bigger than every one of your opponents. Why are you doing like mat work?
You do big Kali chops on the top of the head. Mo says, Nasty, not wrong. Yeah, it is a psyop. We already discussed. Bose writes, Deeb, TBS, smash like Yali. Smash like Yali. Could y'all make sure to Yali smash like? John Buston says, oh yeah, she started saying March 6th and Tay was immediately in her face. That's pretty funny. I didn't notice that. Nasty says, give Deeb all the belts. Please. Yes. Please give her all the belts. Let her collect all them all.
Double champion.
Mo says, again, Nasty, not wrong. Nassie's winning today.
Nassie's on fire.
Nassie's doing a great job. Nassie might be inducted into the special celebrity wing of the LLW Hall of Fame. The LLW Hall of Fame this Saturday. We're
there's
gonna be a new inductees, and we're pretty excited about them.
We're inducting dog. I know who my inductee is gonna be. Patna.
Oh, I almost threw up. Like so gross, so gross. I pray to God he never does anyone's induction.
Oh, he would be so good.
Terrible. It literally would ruin their night if he.
We missed. The GCW really missed the opportunity to induct for him to induct Homicide. We blew it. Instead,
to the GCW Hall of Fame,
into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's not GCW. It's not related to a promotion.
It's related to whoever chooses it. I have no idea.
It's independent.
It's independent. Yeah, it's independent.
You're a jerk.
Totally independent. It's independent of anything. Moving on, we have to talk. Keith Lee. Keith Lee is in the backs with Alex Marvez, and Ricky comes up to him. Ricky Starks comes up to him, and he's just like, "You better mind your P's and Q's."
Did you love his Keith Lee impression as much as I did?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I can't remember what it sounded like right now. It was real fun. But it was just fun. It was very nice to see Inspire Pro Wrestling right there. It was really cool.
The former when we were first going to Inspire shows, Keith Lee was the like pure prestige champion. Like basically they're like intercontinental champion, and Ricky Starks is their heavyweight champion. And here they are.
Nasty says, I've achieved godhood. I thought you wrote good hood at first. I'm like, good hood.
Good hood.
Good hood. Good job, Nasty. Congratulations. Well, you haven't been inducted yet. You have to tune into the Weekly Wrestle this Saturday to find out. Tony, boom! Sorry I'm late. MJF was wow. That reminded me of the song by Beck. Like, wow. Like right now. I can't sing it too much because YouTube will take us down.
That's true.
Mose, are we like only halfway through? So effing jam packed.
No, we're almost done.
We're at the main event, and we have to hurry because time is money. Daniel Garcia versus Bryan Danielson in the main event, which was just a hard hitting, great match.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Danielson is starting to have these. You know how we kind of complain about how Jurassic Express just has like these kind of like high spot matches, and unless the opponents are strong, we don't really care. Danielson's getting to the same point, except Danielson's brilliant and all of his matches are fantastic, but we're getting to a point where we just expect like a hard hitting, good match. I liked the Moriarty match a little more than this one because I think the Moriarty match got a little more time than this one, but I think we're only scratching the surface. Also, these guys are going to fight again at some point, and it's going to be that much better.
Honestly, though, and I will say this, Moriarty like had it on that night.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia definitely felt a step behind here. He's not as crisp as he usually is. He's usually, I feel like I've seen him amazing. Like he's a little sluggish. And even in the beginning, he was selling much more than he usually does. And even Daniel Bryan's just like, let's be violent. Come on, hit me. Come at me. And he's just like selling in the corner. I'm just like, and I'm almost thinking in Bryan Danielson's head, like we're supposed to be fighting right now. I'm not as big. I'm just as big as you, We get some comments. Mo says, sup, Tony Tone. Tony Garcia is growing on me. I like him. Garcia is great. I really loved it. At the end of the match, we get the finish, which was really cool. The back and forth match, a lot of slaps, a lot of hard hits. We get Daniel Garcia going for a dragon screw, and he goes for it, but Danielson catches himself, just grabs his hands while he's on the ground, foot stomps into the triangle choke, and with the muscle pin, the muscle count, whatever.
I like that the new, like, remember when he would do the yes kicks? Those classic, like, I like that, like, it feels like the new yes kicks are those stomps to the head, which are just so much more violent and aggressive, and I love it.
It's very good. When we have Joe writing, so let's get to this and we'll get back to the comments. We got that win, and then he goes on the mic. Bryan Danielson goes on the mic. He's just like, was Garcia violent enough? And then right when they're about to respond and he's about to judge them for the response, he gets attacked by 2.0.
Yeah.
And they beat him up. And it looks like no one's going to save poor Bryan Danielson until Mox's music plays.
Ding, ding, ding.
Then Mox comes out, clears house at 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. And then they talk to each other real quick. And Bryan Danielson says, we'll give him his match at Revolution, making this probably the most anticipated pay-per-view.
Crazy.
Let's talk about just the ones that off the top of our head. We got Bryan Danielson versus Mox.
Yep.
We have Jericho versus Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
We have MJF versus CM Punk.
In a dog collar match.
And I could care less about any other match on that card. But we also have Hangman Page versus Adam Cole.
Yeah. That's huge.
That's huge.
And to me,
Thunder Rosa versus Britt
Baker is huge. And I think if it's the Bucks versus Red Dragon versus Jungle Express or whatever, that's just a really exciting match with a lot of star power in it. Plus, you've also got this 6-man melee match or whatever the fuck it is, which is like going to be interesting. And that has Sting and Darby Allin in it. And then you've also got the TNT title match, which is going to be awesome. And that's 8 matches right there. And
knowing AEW, they're going to debut five different people. So we're going to have 5 different debuts that night. Back to back. It's called they have a debut match where it's a Royal Rumble where every 2 minutes someone new debuts.
Well, there's also the ladder match too with Keith Lee and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse.
It's a jam-packed night. It's a jam-packed night. We have some comments
9
here.
9 matches.
Joe writes, so no Danhausen tonight again. I saw that he did a pre-show vid. Good use for him, I guess, but I want him on the main show. He needs to make all the monies.
I was going to bring that up. I think that, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but I think this is a really good use for him. That's really good.
Honestly, I think that's the best use for him until he's able to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he's still injured right now. Nasty writes, I need Zack Sabre Jr. versus Danielson. Is Zack Sabre Jr. Not canceled? Is he canceled?
No, he's cool. Marty Scurll is canceled.
Peace. John Busman says, I feel like every Danielson match, I see something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Because he's just great.
He's incredible.
He just knows everything. He's incredible. Nasty says, Danhausen should be on commentary.
For like one match.
For a match. We have to see. Put on the Evolution. You can't do anything that would hurt that show. Evolution?
Revolution. I think Revolution.
No, Revolution's the name of the pay-per-view.
Right. What do you say? Oh,
Elevation.
Elevation. Yes. I think
Nasty says, what do we have here? Oh, Mo says, I love Danhausen, but this was not the right time. Nasty says, I can only hope. John Busey says, when they had each other in leg locks and kept kicking each other with their free leg.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So good.
Excellent point, John. Excellent point. Joe writes, Danhausen should take over Rhodes to the top. Danhausen to the top for all the monies. That's a great idea. That is a brilliant idea. In all honesty,
make it a big
great
joke.
YouTube content.
Yeah.
Like, AEW should just make Danhausen to the top. And it's his life now that he's a big star. He's all elite.
Really fun.
That would be very fun.
Yeah.
Mo says this is a stacked pay-per-view bar none. Joe says a match where everyone is the Joker.
Oh, a Joker match.
The Joker match. Everyone's a wild card. Tony says Jeff Hardy will show up to face Sting to set up the pass from Impact when Hardy was so drugged up. That's honestly, I doubt Sting would ever go for that. I don't know if Sting
It's
wants
best to just bury that. Although Sting and Darby Allin versus the Hardy Boys, pretty cool.
That sounds actually awesome. Mose, I would love to have Danhausen on commentary, limited capacity. Yeah, put him on Elevation just to see how he does. But honestly, you're not learning much on Elevation with Tony Schiavone, Big Show, and occasionally Eddie Kingston just farting into the microphone. Mo says, all live chats smash like now. Thank you so much for the reminder, Mose, to smash those likes. Yes. Wow, what fun we had.
Wow.
What fun.
What a packed show.
AEW
knows how to turn the heat up leading into a pay-per-view. They're doing great work.
We're very excited for what the show has in store for us, and we're very excited for you to be all joining us. Smash the like button, and also follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. And, all the things.
We're going to post stuff.
See all these things?
Yeah.
You see all this? This wasn't built, this wasn't just an accident. This isn't just an accident. I have to keep it in the frame. Otherwise, they can't see my animation. Thank you all so much for joining us. Send us to call the hotline, right? Anything else that we need to cover, Roy?
We're going to be back on Saturday. Are we still doing Saturdays? Or are we switching to Sunday?
No, we're doing Saturday. We should do Saturday this week, but we'll figure out for now.
Yeah.
Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central.
Yeah. We're going to be talking the weekly news. We're going to be talking Rampage. And we're also going to be talking the GCW show from Friday night where Sean Waltman makes his return to the ring.
Damn it. I'm so angry.
He might be back on Saturday. You never know.
Better be back. Jesus Christ. Are we done? Can't be. Bless you, Mose, but we are done. Thank you all so much for joining us. Call the hotline, leave a message, send a text, send us pictures. Any pictures that you want to send us pictures. And we'll check them once. We'll post them. We'll post your pictures if they're not saucy. Keep the dick pics to a minimum.
To a minimum.
I gotta talk to some of you. I have to talk to some of you about how many dick pics you're sending. You're sending too many. Too many. Let's keep
Take it easy.
Take it easy, man. I'm Bobby Lashley now. Take it easy.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Who are you kidding?
Who you kidding?
Nancy says, Nene. Thank you so much.
Nene.
Bye everyone. Bye.
Yeah, have a great night. We'll see you Saturday.
Ole. 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 Ole.